Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's another anime movie review. Welcome once again. It's my second official movie review, and this is going to be on Okkos In. Now, Okkos In was an anime that aired back in 2018, and I believe it had about 24 episodes. It was a pretty lengthy anime. Now, the anime itself, if you look up the scorings on my anime list, didn't do so well. It wasn't bad, but it didn't do so well as the movie. The anime itself was at about a 6.2. The movie itself is now at my anime list around a 7.57. Tells you the movie did a lot better than the actual series. And point being, it kind of makes sense in some ways, but it doesn't in others. Now, before I continue with my review, a few things. We're finally in a new month with a new goal, and that is 3,400. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you are subscribing. My goal is 3,400. We're a tenth of a way there already, which is awesome coming in. But if you haven't done so, make sure you do so. Also, guys, there was a giveaway announcement yesterday, and people won. And actually, almost everyone that won had never won before. So if you haven't checked the video yet, make sure you check it and make sure you claim your items so I can give your items your way. Also, and lastly, there is another movie anime review that I have for you guys already out that I released last week. And I have others that I've done before, but these are the official ones on my new series here on my channel. So go check it out. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. I will talk about this movie in some detail, so huge spoiler alert. Now, coming into the movie, I didn't realize this was a movie and a series. Very much like other series that I've watched entirely as a series and then watched the movie, where it's basically the series but in a movie form. What tends to happen is they remove a few scenes and sometimes even a few characters. It could have happened like that. Not really too sure. What I do think happened was the ending was kind of abruptly, and I don't know if I'm the only one that felt that way or if other people felt that way. But on my opinion, it just felt like the ending just came out of sudden, and there was two characters that they weren't that important, or at least they didn't seem that important, and then they became important, right? The whole premises is we follow the story of Oriko, and Oriko, she loses her parents in a car accident at the beginning of the movie, and essentially what happens is she is saved. She is spared by what we later find out is a spirit that lives in the inn that her grandma runs. Now, she ends up being taken care of her by her grandma. She's in her custody, and she decides through the help of this spirit that she's going to be the next innkeeper. So she becomes the junior innkeeper for her grandma's inn, and that's, it's nice, but there's a lot of work to it. Through her time, essentially, she meets different people. And this is why I said I didn't realize they were going to be important, because throughout the entire anime, people stay in the inn, and they just kind of come in and go. So you don't know who's going to be the important person that ends up returning. In her time, she meets another spirit called Miyo, and Miyo is actually the spirit of a little girl who died, and she has a little sister who is now older than her, but she has a little sister, and that's Matsuki, and Matsuki is the, I guess, competitor, junior innkeeper to Oriko, and so there's that. She also finds another spirit, Suzuki, who's actually a demon, and not actually a bad demon. He's just a very big troublemaker, and yeah. Anyways, throughout the movie, she interacts with these spirits. She is, I wouldn't say bullied, but she's kind of judged a lot by Matsuki, the other junior innkeeper, about how she works, because she's very much, this is how we do stuff for not our ourselves, but for the betterment of our clients. One great example is in the beginning of the movie, she mentions how they've changed their whole food and menu to please people that have certain diets. And towards the end of the movie, Oriko is struggling with this client, or not her, but the whole inn itself, because the client, he can't eat certain things. I guess he's diabetic, or actually, I think he had a stroke or something like that. But anyways, he can't have certain foods that will affect his heart or affect his health. So, no seasoning, no salt, no extreme levels of salt. Very much like a diabetic diet, no sugar and stuff like that. So obviously the food, if you don't know how to cook it, ends up very bland. So she goes and asks for help from Sookie, and she gets all these diets, all these recipes for the diet, and they're able to please this client. Now, this client, oh, I remember now. This client actually was in an accident, the accident that caused the death of Oriko parents. And anyways, there's a whole drama there. Another character that ended up being important is Zeiko, and Zeiko is I guess, a very popular girl. I don't remember if she was a model or an actress, but she's popular, and she ends up taking Oriko for shopping, and really opens up to her because Oriko made her feel better. She was going through, I guess, a breakup, I believe, and she wanted to pay back what Oriko did for her. And she ends up coming back towards the end of the movie, where Oriko's having a big, emotional moment, just because, she's meeting the guy that caused the death of her parents. But at the end of the movie, she decides that those people can stay at the end because she is going to be the junior innkeeper. And the movie really ends with her making friends with Mitsuki, and them two dancing in the big festival that the whole city basically goes to. And usually the junior innkeepers are the ones that do the dance. Now, in a nutshell, this movie has its good things and its bad things. For the most part, I enjoyed the fact of all the drama. There's a lot of twists and turns, and obviously it's sad. It's sad to see the life of a child who's lost his parents, as well as she connects to a lot of people in the movie that have lost someone in their lives. One has lost a boyfriend. There's a kid who lost his mom, and she's able to connect with that kid, even though the kid, he's being a troublemaker, but at the same time, she shares to him her pain. I lost both parents. You lost one. Be happy that you have your dad. Right? So there's the emotional level of the movie that I think people really enjoy, and I think in the series, because it was 24 episodes, the emotional levels were stretched. So I could assume, and I didn't see the series, I can assume that if the movie takes up the entire 24 episodes, then the episodes were very slow. They lagged a lot. It could be, and the people wanted the more dramatic scenes put all together in one place, which was the movie. On the other hand, though, a lot of characters like Mitsuki and Zeiko, they weren't really built up as characters. They just kind of showed up. They were mean to her, then they were nice to her, and tan, the end. That's how we say it in Spanish. And then another character that we didn't really see develop too much was Suzuki, the little demon. We met him for a little while, and then he didn't really show up towards the end when Oriko stopped singing the other two spirits, Makoto and Miyo. And anyways, the reason that she stopped seeing them is really because apparently the spirits show up to her when she's going through a difficult time. So as her life gets to a better position in her life, she starts not being able to see the spirits anymore, and Suzuki is a key part to at least the viewer who's watching the movie to understand that. And yeah, for a while, Makoto and Akino, the other spirits, they were big in the movie, and then towards the second half, they weren't so much, and it just felt very disconnected. It didn't feel like the characters were doing what they were supposed to be doing, and I would say if I watched the series, this movie probably would have been better, because then I would have made more connections and say, oh yeah, this character is doing this because of this reason, and we saw it in the series, right? And I think that's why people enjoyed the movie. I think for when it came out, because a lot of people probably watched the series, and after watching the series, they then watched the movie, and the movie was like, well, it's shorter, it's like less than 2 hours, and heck, you put all the good moments in it, then that's a classic, right? But as a fresh viewer, I was a little off. There were some things that were off for me, and for that reason, I'm gonna give this one a 6. In fact, I don't think it deserves a 7.5 of what my anime list has it at. And I could be wrong. So some people might have really enjoyed it without knowing all the other stuff and without the build-up of each character. But I felt like there was too many characters that were supposed to be important in the movie that weren't really showcased enough, and for me, it just didn't do it. I almost could tell that it was a anime that was a first in anime put placed together because of how the storyline rolled. It almost seemed like I was watching an anime, because I kept saying like, man, why is there a lot of visitors coming in and each visitor is being showcased and they never show up again? Because that's what anime does. They have 12 episodes and they'll showcase maybe a character for 2 episodes and then they're never shown again. So anyways, 6 out of 10 is what I give it. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's a good movie. You can watch it on Netflix, online. I don't know where else you guys can watch it. I bought it myself, so I have it in my shelf. But I watch most. I watch most of my stuff online. I buy the DVDs or Blu-rays mainly for collection. So anyways, I thank you so much for your love and support. If you have not done so by now, make sure you subscribe, comment, like, and share. Thank you for watching this. Once again, another great movie anime review, and also go check out the other one, and I'll have more throughout the weeks. I'm watching a lot of stuff now that I'm caught up with One Piece. Thank you so much for your support, and like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.